one that achieved anything asked for help. They did it. Jesus Christ. Listen, read the story of Jesus. What did Jesus do before he suffered?
Asked for help.
He asked for help. Like he was scared. He asked for help. And so I don't know. I think that's mental toughness is I need help actually. I'm not an expert. I don't know all the things. I do know some things. I can help you guys and I'm happy to be a leader, but like I'm really struggling in this area. I'm out of my area of expertise. And just trusting other people, I think, which is scary to do. But those are some of my thoughts about like stop lying. If you're mentally tough, stop lying to yourself. I think that would be my answer, I guess.
That's really good. The masks and stuff are crazy that like can sneak in on us.
Like, I don't know. That's a very good, appropriate answer for many, even as a parent to your kid. It's a very good answer, I think. Like, you don't have to pretend like you know. Like, I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, the vulnerability.
Yeah.
Is there any component that like did it feel really freeing to you to stop worrying so much about what everyone else thinks?
Yes, but then it's tied to guilt that I feel joy. But yeah, I do.
Yeah, the freedom of that. Just like the more you can not worry about other people's opinions. And like some people are like more people pleasers than others.
Yeah.
So I definitely find myself like leaning on the people pleasing side.
I mean, I struggle with that too. Like, yeah. Like, I want you to like me. Like, I hope we are accommodating. I try to be like, yeah, I care about that stuff too. But like, I want everyone to like me. But if you don't, you're not going to have me chasing you around.
Yeah.
Like, sorry.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have the energy to do that. But, and honestly, I'd understand it. Like, for every negative comment or thought someone has about me, I already have in my own head. So instead of being mad at them, it's just treated with sympathy and respect. Like, yeah, like that makes sense. I see why you'd think that. Or, and so it's very easy to let that go. I've already been dealing with you all year. So like, you're not new.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Do you like feel better this year than you did last year?
Yeah, in some ways I do for sure. And then other ways it's worse. Just, Frankie would be 6, Riggins would be 10, Ryder would be 16. So in those instances, it's harder. Like, like all those empty memory, like, like what would we have done? What would our kids have become? That stuff's harder. It gets harder as the time goes. And then other areas, it gets better. Gratitude starts to sneak back in. That's a huge one. Like, it's so hard to be grieving and have gratitude at the same time. At least for me, like that's been really hard. And so receiving, and that's one thing about accepting the pain and leaning into the pain and really feeling it is you find the gratitude on the other side of, wow, like I got to meet Courtney. I got to fall in love with Courtney. Do you know how many other guys got to do that? 0. That's how many. I got to have these like Riggins and Blue and Frankie. Like, so you start to feel appreciation and gratitude again, which can really help you handle the pain. But the pain came first, the agony came first, and then and now when I think back of memories on my family, it's not just crying. Sometimes I'm laughing and have a smile on my face. And it's so cool that we got to do that instead of just crying every time. But it's definitely still mixed. But that's one thing therapy's helped me is understanding that these emotions can coexist. Like, we can be miserable, but also happy. We can want to lay in bed forever and die and also want to go out and change the world at the same time. Those people can actually coexist in your mind. You just have to be really good at letting them both feel heard. So just trying to coach myself with my own parts and thoughts in my own head is very much what I do day to day.
Like if you have gratitude playing like basketball with Blue, then instantly you might have regret over that gratitude.
Yeah. Or like just maybe anger, like Riggins should be here. What would Riggins' shot look like? What, or maybe he wouldn't even like basketball. Maybe how funny would it be for me to try to want him to try to play? Like you, you just spent all day, man, like
Self
going down what could have been, man. And it's a type of denial. It's denial because it's a world that doesn't exist, and by spending so much time in that world that doesn't exist, it's robbing me of being in the one that does. So just a balancing act.
with your guests that are coming on your show, is there like a common thread of like drugs and alcohol making things worse? And like, is there wisdom in like trying to avoid that?
Yeah. So the common themes that are not good, yeah, drugs and alcohol for the most part. I had a really rare conversation with Haley yesterday about drinking, and she asked me, she's like, "So how'd you get through that part of numbing?" I'm like, "Oh, like I haven't. I drink and I smoke weed every day," and she just had this look of relief, like, "Oh, like I'm not the only one." And we had this conversation about how at the very beginning, alcohol kept us alive. Like it was really the only thing that kept us from blowing our head off. And then we talked about, a really good metaphor that we use on the 1090 podcast is the metaphor of the raft. It's what is it? What like a Buddhist? Yeah, it's like a Buddhist story. Why can't I think of the word Buddhist? Whatever parable. But like the parable is you have to cross this river with this raft. It's the only way you can get across the river. Like this river's nasty. Like you have to have a floating raft to get across it. So you take this raft, you cross the river, and now it's just desert land for miles and miles and miles. And you have to let this raft go, or else it will now kill you as you try to drag it in the dry desert for miles and miles. You have to let it go. And I think that's true for relationships. I think that's true for religion. I think that's true for many, many things in life. And I think it was true for my relationship. And maybe if I can speak for Haley, which is always scary to do that, but maybe for Haley as well, like in those early stages, it was a raft. Like that's how bad it was. Like imagine alcohol being a raft. But yeah, I think it was that dark. But obviously, alcohol's terrible, and it's not a long-term fix for anything. So yeah, I would definitely say drugs and alcohol would fall into the common thing that's not good that people are trying to avoid when they're coping with grief, for sure. It's just much easier said than done. I don't drink every day, but I smoke weed every day still. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure like to not go that direction. Like I can't even fathom, obviously, like what anything like that would feel like. Like the vulnerability in your story has been really, really helpful. I think just knowing that, I think you said it like early on in the beginning, just knowing that we're not alone is, I think about other issues that, like guys face related to other issues, whether it's like PTSD and, suicidal thoughts and depression and suicidal thoughts. With the Mountain Tough community, we definitely, like, once you find out you're not alone in that fight, or you're just not alone in the world with a similar problem. It is really like powerful when that like happens, when that like clicks, when you're like, wow, there is someone else out here that deals with the same thing. They're dealing with something similar, and they're just scared to talk about it as I am. Because like when you feel like completely alone with whatever you're dealing with, it definitely it it definitely feels like there's no way out. You're never going to find help. You are on an island. Maybe you're crazy with how you're feeling, but as soon as you kind of connect with that one person that has a similar issue, it just kind of starts building a little bit of strength.
Yeah, I think that's one of the gifts the podcast has given me is, it's kind of like you're stuck on this island and you're all alone, and then like, oh, there's actually people on this island. Like you start finding, like, that's Craig Lithgow over there in Australia, and there's Curry Bolger in Kansas City. Like, yeah, you just start going through. But again, that's all talking, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like I got all that from talking, and I don't know if I ever say anything good, but the fact that like that the part doesn't really matter. Like if you are just true to yourself, you'll find your people.